Alright guys, today is September 25th and it is 91 degrees outside. The record was 89 I think, and we broke that today. It is hot for September. You can see the corn is still plenty green. A couple guys had asked how the corn was doing. It's just starting to, well, the bottom leaves are yellow and you can see the soybeans are starting to yellow up. But what I want to do is, I had made a video about the hay moisture tester way back when I probably only had about 10 subscribers. That video got a lot of views pretty well right away, so there's some interest there. And the video that I shot was such poor quality. I had the camera the wrong way and wasn't as good as some of my other videos. So what I want to do, now that I've had this for 4 or 5 months now, is do another review on it and show some of you guys how it works. If you're looking for a hay moisture tester, I figured I would reshoot this video. If you've seen the other one, it's probably going to be about the same thing. But like I say, there was interest in it. So I'd like to do another video here on this. So this is the Agritronics HT Pro hay moisture tester. Let's see about how long it is. They have different size, different length probes to go into different hay applications. This is the shortest one you can get. And the reason I got the shortest one is I'm just doing small square bales, and this is plenty. You can get to about the center of the bale, if not a little bit more with this. So it runs on 9-volt batteries, and I don't think it comes with a battery. You had to put one in the back here. This was like 189 bucks, and I didn't get it from their website. I got it from another vendor. They have a little tag here. Excuse me. Most accurate under 30%, and you don't want to make hay any higher than 20%. I always try to use as a general rule of thumb. So the buttons on here, the last video I didn't know what the check mark was. The check mark is for calibrating the tester here. This comes with another piece that clips onto this end here. It clips onto the end, and you hold this down. The way I understand it, it does a countdown and then it calibrates it. Now, in the instructions, this is pre-calibrated right from the factory, and you shouldn't have to recalibrate it. I might do it just to give it a try, to test it, to see how well the calibration is with their calibrator. See how accurate it is, kind of in the same spot. But you got a button here for the light. This is backlit. Now that light does come on when you stick it into a bale, so it does light up every time. You don't have to turn that on. Then you have this raindrop and this thermometer. The raindrop is the moisture, and the thermometer is the temperature. It actually reads the temperature of the hay. So we have a wagon load of hay here, still sitting here in the shed. And I figured I would just demonstrate this in action here. Bear with me. Let's get a bale. Okay. Now you want to stick it in the sides of the bale. I always do, just because it goes in a little bit easier. So here we got a bale. It's going to be upside down. And I take readings sometimes, depending on how fussy I want to be. Usually I'll just stick it right in the center and do a test. But if you really want to get a sense of how wet the hay is, I do 3 different readings. So now it's going to be upside down, but you push the raindrop, and you see that's 19.5. So that's a little bit on the wetter side out at this end. So you push that and it comes up, it'll read. Now the next thing is, if you want to know the temperature, now like I say, it's 91, 92 degrees today. We'll just see how warm the hay is inside the bale. Push the temperature button, it's 76 degrees. So that hasn't really heated or done anything. So now we go over to the center and we push the raindrop again. 20.9. So this bale was a little bit wetter. Should still be okay, I think. I don't want to go over 20, but now this doesn't have any hay preservative on. So we'll do a test that at the end of the bale. 24. So this bale definitely has a wet spot in there, and it's probably going to have a little bit of a smell to it. So let's go to let's go to another bale here. 9.7. So you see how it varies. Now this is all from the same field. Now this bale here that was a little wetter, this could have came from under the trees. It could have been an outside row. It could have been somewhere where it was a little bit lumpier, versus 9.7, same exact field. And it's going to vary your hay. You'll never get the same reading. 10.5 in the center. 10.9 out at the end. We'll go back to the center and we'll do the temperature. 76 degrees. Okay, so this bale at 10% moisture is 76 degrees. We'll go back to this real wet one. That was 24%. 76 degrees. So now this hay's been on the wagon for almost a week after it was baled. So the stuff that's real high moisture is the same temperature as the stuff that's low moisture. Just take a couple more readings just to demonstrate this. Here's a bale here. 9.3. Come over to this bale. 18.4. So it kind of gives you a good reference of how wet your hay is. And like I say, it was like $189. Now I have the sensor mounted in the bale chamber, the baler, that lets me know. I had put that kit on. If anybody wants to go back and look at those videos, if you want to get one that's in the bale chamber as you're baling to get a real-time estimate. But I actually bought this first before I had that sensor in there. And this was kind of my go-to. I'd bale some hay and then get off and then check it just to see where my moisture was. So I think it's a pretty handy tool to have. Like I say, the other advantage of why I wanted the short one, I didn't really need something really long because I'm not doing any round bales or anything like that. You can get a longer probe. They cost a little bit more. The real reason is fits right in my toolbox, and there it is. So like I said, I bought that first. That was my only way to test the moisture. Then I decided to get a little more advanced with a baler mounted sensor. So just gives you an idea of how it works. And like I said, I decided to reshoot this video because my old one, the quality wasn't very good at all. So I think it's money well spent. Keeps you in the know of kind of how wet the hay is, what the moisture is. Takes some of the guesswork out and feeling around. I have used it. I have had some wet bales. Now this is second cutting, and second cutting always seems like it's a little bit more moisture in the hay, just because it's you're getting near the end of the year. You don't have the hot days that you used to. So for first cutting, it was a little bit more consistent than second. But it takes a lot of the guesswork out. Now, like I say, I have had a real wet bale that I stuck it in that had a brown spot that I could see. It was one that was under the trees, and it never got any sunlight, and I baled it up, and I set it aside because it was heavy. A couple weeks later, I came back. It had some brown and black in it, that it was decomposing in the bale and getting hot. And I stuck the moisture tester in, and it read like 60% moisture. I put the temperature thing, and the temperature was getting a little high, so I took that bale right out of the barn and threw it back in the field for some organic matter for next year. So yeah, I just thought I'd reshoot this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for commenting. If you know anything I missed, feel free to comment. And like I said, thanks for watching.